Shalom, shalom, Israel, shalom to the Torah tribes, Yasha Allah, giving the course, all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahweh, Shema, Mashak, Yabashah. That's all praises, honor, glorification unto the Most High God, Yahweh. In the name of His only begotten Son, Yahweh, this brother Yasha Allah. And I'm going to get straight into this, right? This is going into what if we had just listened to the Lord, right? So let's get straight into this, right? Let's go to Psalm chapter 81, verse 13. It says, "Oh, that my people had hearkened unto me, and Israel had walked in my ways." Right? So that's how the Lord feels sometimes, man. Right? That's how the Lord feels sometimes, right? Because if we had just listened to the Lord from the get-go, when we came out of Egypt, when we became a nation, right, in ancient Egypt, and came out of it, right, by Moses through the Spirit of the Lord, if we had just listened to the Lord from the get-go, we would have avoided so much evil and affliction that we have been going through as a nation of people for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. All the captivities, right? All the tumults, all of the like I said, the captivities, the distresses, all the murderings of our people, right? We would have avoided all of that if we had just listened unto Yahweh Bashem Nabashah, right? It says, "Oh, that my people had hearkened unto me, Salah, and Israel had walked in my ways." Right? Let's go to Isaiah chapter 48. All right. This is Isaiah chapter 48 and verse 18. It says, "Oh, that thou hadst hearkened to my commandments." You see that? So the Lord says, "Oh, that thou hadst hearkened unto my commandments." Meaning, if you would have just had listened to me and just kept my commandments like I commanded you to, right? Then had thy peace been as a river, and thy righteousness as the waves of the sea. Then our righteousness would have been as the waves of the sea, man. We would have been all righteous, right? We would have had our enemies subdued under us. We would have everything, man, right? We would have control over the earth. But no, since we want to, buck up against the Most High, since we want to follow after what we want to do, guess what? Now we're at the bottom, But right? Let's go back to this. The book of Psalms, chapter 81 and verse 13. "Oh, that my people had hearkened unto me, and Israel had walked in my ways, I should soon have subdued their enemies." Meaning, if we had hearkened unto the Lord would have just subdued our enemies. He would have just put Esau down to our feet, man. He would have been done that. He would have been put down Moab and Ammon and all these other nations under our feet, under our subjection. Right? I should soon have subdued their enemies and turned my hand against their adversaries. You see that? Meaning the Lord is going to turn his hand, right? Meaning what? Have his hand towards our adversaries. And your adversary is your enemy. Who are our enemies? That's Nehemiah 5 and 9. And the Most High, right? The Most High, he even has enemies, right? When you read the book of Psalms, chapter 83, right? Let's get that real quick, right? It says, let's go to Psalm chapter 83, verse 1. "Keep not thou silence, O God, hold not thy peace, and be still, O God. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head." See that? "They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones." So the Lord has enemies, right? And they make a tumult, right? People hate the Most High too. It says, "They that have hated thee," right, "have lifted up the head." And that's talking about these heathen, right? These heathen, now that the Most High gave them certain power, now they think, right? Now they think that they can fight against the Most High, that they can stand before him, right? Let's go back to the Psalm chapter 81 and verse 14. "I should soon have subdued their enemies and turned my hand against their adversaries. The haters of the Lord should have submitted themselves unto him." So even the Lord has haters, right? Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua has haters, you know? Yes, certain celebrities, they may have haters too, right? They may have haters like, like that saying goes, haters gonna hate, whatever, right? Whenever you're in a famous position and a lot of people know you, you're always gonna have people that, like you, and you're always gonna have people that hate you, right? Like, for example, the Hebrew Israelites, right? People might think of us as the black Hebrew Israelites, the BHI, whatever that is, right? Right? Some might actually know us as our, what we actually call ourselves, Israelites, Hebrew Israelites, whatever, right? You're going to have some certain people that's in the world that's actually cool with us. You do have people that's cool with us, right? Talking about Jakes in the world that's cool with us. They always coming up to camp saying, oh yeah, keep doing what you're doing, this is this and that, applauding what we're doing because they understand that we're doing a good work in the earth through the spirit and power of the Lord, right? Through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, right? That we're actually coming out with good intentions. But you're also going to have other people within the same nation, right? Jakes that hate us because we're allegedly teaching hate. You know what I'm saying? We're allegedly doing this and that, right? Because we don't love the so-called white man, right? Because we're teaching the truth. The Lord said, am I therefore becoming enemy because I tell you the truth, right? That's in the book of Galatians, right? But it says that what? The haters of the Lord. So even the Lord, the Almighty, the righteous, the creator of the heaven and the earth has haters. And really, you hate the Most High if you love death, right? Let's go to that, right? Let's go to Proverbs chapter 8. This is Proverbs chapter 8 and verse 35. This is really talking about wisdom, right? But guess what? Where does wisdom come from? Wisdom comes from the Lord. That's Sirach 1:1, right? I'm gonna just pull that. I'm not gonna pull it on the screen, right? I'm gonna get the Apocrypha real quick. All right, let's go to Sirach chapter 1 and verse 1. All wisdom cometh from the Lord and is with him forever. So all wisdom comes from the Lord, right? So when you hate wisdom, you really hate the Lord, right? Because wisdom comes from the Lord, all right? So just like how if you hate Yahweh Shah, you hate the Lord, right? And if you love Yahweh Shah, you love the Lord. You love his Father, right? If you receive Yahweh Shah, you receive his Father as well. All right, and the same thing goes with, for example, if you hate the prophets of the Lord, you hate the Lord. Because all they're doing, they're just messengers, right? They're just saying what the Lord is saying. So if you hate the messengers, you really hate the Most High because the Most High sent those messengers. If you have ears to hear, all right? Let's go to Proverbs chapter 8, verse 35. But whoso findeth me findeth life, and shall obtain favor of the Lord. But he that sinneth against me wrongeth his own soul. All they that love me, all they that hate me love death. So everybody that hates the Most High, right, loves death. You see that? So you do have people, right, that hate the Most High, right? And you can tell if a person hates the Most High by their actions and by how they conduct themselves, right? And their spirit, they really hate the Most High. Why? Because they don't want to hearken unto him, right? They never want to pray unto him, right? They never want to read the scriptures, they don't want to keep any of the commandments. You really hate the Most High then, and you love death. You love Satan. You love the world, right? Verse 15, the haters of the Lord shall have submitted themselves unto him, but their time should have endured forever. Verse 16, he should have fed them also with the finest of the wheat, and with honey out of the rock should I have satisfied thee. So if we listen to the Lord from the get-go, he would have fed all of us with the finest of the wheat. What's significant about wheat? Wheat, you get wheat to make bread, right? So this is really going into the bread, right? Remember, and this bread is not only talking about this food, right? Bread, let's go to right? You have also spiritual bread. All right, you have also spiritual bread. Let's go to Matthew 4:4. But he answered and said, it is written, man shall not live by bread alone, meaning only by eating, right, real food, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of God, right? So that's that spiritual bread. You can't only have the physical bread. You know, you can't just live by the physical bread. You have to live by the physical and the spiritual bread, right? You have to live by the physical and the spiritual bread. So, which is this word, all right? That's the spiritual bread. As much as you have to eat, like the Lord said, or Job said in the book of Job, obviously, he said, you know, I have esteemed his words more than my necessary food, okay? So let's go to the book of Isaiah, right? Let's go to Isaiah chapter 33. Let's get this on the spiritual bread, right? This is Isaiah chapter 33 and verse 16. He shall dwell on high, right? This is talking about the righteous, right? He shall dwell on high. His place of defense shall be the munitions of rocks. Bread shall be given him. His water shall be sure. So this is on the twofold level, right? If you're righteous, the Lord is going to feed you in time of trouble, and at all times, right? The Lord is going to provide for you if you're righteous. And also on the spiritual level, he's going to give you that bread, right? Bread shall be given him. His water shall be sure, meaning you're not going to lack any water. You're not going to lack any food on a physical or spiritual level, right? Let's go to Matthew. Let's get another one, right? Matthew chapter 6. Okay, Matthew chapter 6 and verse 9, right? In the Lord's Prayer. And after this manner, therefore pray ye, Our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Verse 11, right? Give us this day our daily bread. So that's not just your daily, that's not just your daily food or whatever, right? What you need to survive, but it's also going into that spiritual bread as well, right? That spiritual knowledge, wisdom, understanding, that bread that you get from the Lord, all right? Because, right, let's go to the book of, what was this precept at? Salaki, right? I'm trying to remember. Let's go back to Psalms, chapter 81. All right. Let me try to find what it's at, right? Okay, Colin, let's go to Psalm chapter 81 and verse 10, right? I am the Lord thy God, all praises. Right, I am the Lord thy God, which brought thee out of the land of Egypt. Open thy mouth wide, and I will fill it. What is the Lord going to fill your mouth with? Right? This spiritual knowledge, wisdom, understanding. This spiritual food, on one level. Right? Verse 16. He should have fed them also with the finest of the wheat. The finest of the wheat. We're talking about this pure bread. All right? Not some grocery, some defiled bread. All right? That Esau, that Esau has in the stores and whatnot. This is the finest of the wheat. Right? Talking about this truth, this knowledge, this wisdom. And with honey out of the rock should I have satisfied thee. The honey out of the rock, right? And this is not just talking about physical honey, man. This honey is also going into the, like I said, the spiritual knowledge, wisdom, understanding. And you can read about that in Proverbs as well, all right? The Lord said don't eat too much honey, right? Don't eat too much honey, or else you might, basically throw it up. Meaning, if you eat too much of the knowledge in one sitting, you're going to just spew it out. You're just going to throw it up, right? So honey is also likened onto the spiritual knowledge, wisdom, understanding that you get from the Lord as well, all right? Because it's sweet to the taste, and this truth is sweet too. You can read about that in Revelation chapter 10 when John ate the little book that the angel gave to him. It was sweet in his mouth, but when he fully digested it in his belly, it was bitter. Talking about that this which is significant for what that this truth is bittersweet. All right, it's bittersweet. But that's really what I wanted to get into. If we just had hearkened unto the Most High God, we would have had the kingdom already, basically, right? In one sense, all right, and we would have had just been good. We would have been on top, man, right? So we have to do our best to return back unto the Most High God. So with that, I'd like to give all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahweh, Shema, Mashak, Abashah. Lord willing, this was edifying. Brother Yasha Allah, Shalom.